Is there anything else you want to tell us about your friend Marge?
Oh, Marge was a goer. She played tennis. She played golf. She was an archer. She was a PE teacher, but she was an athlete. She was good at everything. Oh my goodness. She loved ice cream. She said, "My name is Marge, ice cream ends." So she was a kick in the pants. She was so much fun to be around. She was young at heart, and I love that. She was humble and she was generous. I remember the year a girl who was kicked out of her house by her parents moved in with Marge for this school year and lived with her. Marge never married, but she was an innovator. She was spunky, she was feisty. I can remember the year that the leaders of the Rose Parade, that big parade in South Pasadena every year, called and invited the Rabettes to march in the Rose Parade. And that was a real invitation. But they only wanted half. They just wanted the ropers. And Marge told them right what they could do with their ropes. She said, "Yeah, I am not sending half of the Rabettes. If you want the Rabettes, you get the whole schmear." So the Rabettes did not march in the Rose Parade. And I just thought, that's okay. That was so nice of Marge. That would have just killed those other girls. She was fair. She was humble. She was an outstanding woman. And they ended up naming a school after her. And that was just the honor of her life. She was so thrilled about that. It was a fitting tribute. So I'm sorry if Linda's skirt was too short. Too bad.
When was the last time you reinvented yourself?
Well, I think about this question and I think I'm reinventing myself every day. I'm trying I'm trying to do things every day that reinvent me. I I try to learn something all the time. I try to study. I'm I'm trying to do something I've never done, paint. I'm just trying to stay young at heart. I guess our mission to Vietnam was reinventing. We faced lots of challenges and I'm so appreciative of that. I just honestly feel that life on this earth is wonderful. There there's so much wonderfulness around us. So many things that are sad, so many that are tragic, and yet we're we're strong people, we're resilient people, and we can meet challenges. I would just say to all of my grandchildren, there's nothing you can't accomplish and do. There's no tragedy in your life that you cannot surmount and rise above. There's no terrible thing that happens to you that you cannot find forgiveness in your heart for and move ahead. I love the idea of reinventing yourself. God's there to help you and he does help you. You just pray for help and move forward.
Well, then, in that same vein, can you talk a bit about a regret maybe that you've had in your life and how you dealt with, the guilt or the disappointment surrounding that regret? I know things have been pretty great.
Well, things have not been always great. Uh, Dealing with Stephen, Uncle Stephen, was a huge tragedy in my life. I'd grown up with parents who said, "We trust you, we love you, whatever you do is wonderful. We will support whatever you do." And I grew up thinking, I want to be that kind of parent. it was impossible to be that kind of parent with a child who was doing frightening, terrible things. My regret with Stephen is that I spent a lot of time saying, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe my son would hurt us like this. I can't believe. And I feel now like I should have said, Carol, believe it, deal with it, work with it, access all the resources you possibly can. Know that it's not your fault. Just deal with it. And so I regret that I spent a lot of time just thinking, this is not fair. There's no reason for this. Why? I don't think in our lives we can ask why. I think we need to ask, show me the path out. Show me the path through. So I have some regrets about that. I greatly regret losing Stephen. But I am very thankful for my faith in knowing that he is progressing and moving ahead on the other side. I firmly believe that, and I'm grateful for that faith. I love him. On a lighter vein, I regret that I haven't kept a journal. Just coming up with the answers to these questions has been so fulfilling. And I think I've had so many fantastic experiences in my life. I wish I had written them all down. I'm reading this book by President Eyring, and he says, every night, no matter how dead I am, I write even 2 or 3 sentences. And he says, that's been so wonderful to go back and read those things and to see how I've grown and how I've changed and to remember things that I would otherwise have completely forgotten. So this week I've been doing that, thinking I've got to do that. So that's a regret I have. I regret losing my little Henry.
I'm so sorry that you went
I think
through
we
that
were all
loss.
surprised to have this little dog come into your life at that point and just completely change it. Even though we had little Kiko growing up and you loved her and took such good care with her, I think we were all shocked that little Henry meant to you what he did.
I was shocked too.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
thank
so
Chevy for Henry. I really do. We got Henry because of Chevy, and that was a great day. And just the experience of getting Henry was wonderful. The day we went up to look at all these dogs, Chevy and I went. We had 7 dogs we were going to look at. And Christine said, you'll know when you find the right one. So we'd go in and look at a dog and then come out and look at each other and think, well, it was cute. The dog was cute, but I didn't, no. The last house we went to, we were going to look at this little dog named Lulu. And the foster mother came out carrying this dog. And I leaned over and said, hi, Lulu. And she just, I said, oh, I don't think Lulu's our dog. And she said, well, I did get another dog last night. I don't know anything about him. Henry. And Henry came running around the side of this garage and just jumped into Chevy's arms. And Chevy looked at me and said, well, I think I found my dog. Yeah, this is him. Henry. Yeah. So he was wonderful.
How'd you feel about becoming a grandmother?
Oh, so thrilled. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. My grandchildren are all perfect and all wonderful.
Did you
And
have kids were little? Did
that's
you look?
what grandparenting is. As a parent, you have to face facts, right? You little rotter, look what you've done. But grandparents only see the good and appreciate the good. I love my grandchildren so much. We got a call this week. One of our dear friends died and they wanted Bill to play for the funeral. But it's on the day that we're going down to Utah to hear Shelby's junior recital. And as soon as we said that, the wife said, oh, grandchildren trump everything. Grandchildren trump everything. And I thought, that's it exactly. Grandchildren trump anything. So I want all of my grandchildren to know that there is nothing in the world we wouldn't do for you. We long to visit with you and talk with you and be with you. We do everything we can to make that happen. It's so wonderful when you call us, when you text us, when we get to see you. It's just the joy of our lives.
Is there anything that surprised you about becoming a grandmother that you didn't foresee?
I guess just how much you love them, how much you love your children. When Michael just had Reagan and Benson, and they lived here in Lethbridge, I'd often go over and babysit when they went out or something. One night I'd been there babysitting. I think Grandpa was with me. And Michael and Jen came home, and these two little kids were running around the room, just so cute. And Michael said, oh, I never knew I could love anything so much as I love my children. I never knew. And I said to him, well, Michael, that's how we feel about you. And he said, really? Really? I think you always love your children and you always love your grandchildren more than they love you. You just do. Just part of it.
How did you strike a balance between your career and motherhood?
We tried to involve the children, tried to teach you all what I was teaching everybody else, tried to do it at home. So I was with you, even though I used to say, don't disturb me unless there's blood. I remember a little knock on the door one day and I opened it and Michael was standing there and he said, there's lots of blood. I can't remember what had happened, but there's lots of blood. I remember doing the nativity with all of you. We just tried to involve you in everything we did, whether it was work or play, whatever we did, we all did it together.
All right. Well, jumping to the current state of affairs, what are you looking forward to these days? We've had lots of fun looking back. What's next?
I'm looking forward to every day that I have. Christine told me this last week, and I'll bet I've told 20 people this, Christine. Christine had a friend in her 40s whose husband just dropped dead. And so she took her little kids and moved to Victoria and went to the university there, got a teaching degree. It was really hard, but she thought, I'm moving ahead, I'm moving forward. Got a job teaching, had taught 1 year or 1 semester, I can't remember what it was, but was diagnosed with a really aggressive form of breast cancer. And the doctor said, you don't have much time, so get your affairs together. And this young woman in her 40s, who'd lost her husband and now was going to lose her life, said to Christine, sometimes I'm just sitting outside a store and I see an elderly person with a cane or a walker go into the store. And I think, I can't imagine being able to grow old. I would give anything in my life if I could be here long enough to grow old, to raise my children, and to live a full life. But I know I'm going. I know my life is over and ending. But I just treasure every single day of my life. And I just thought about that a lot because I have a lot of friends who are, oh, I'm getting so old, I just hate this, and I think, no, 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 no. Love your life. Look forward to every moment of breath you are blessed with. Yeah, I'm so thankful to know all of our grandchildren, to live to see all of our grandchildren, and to love them and to care for them. That's what matters, just every day. So I'm looking forward, always.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, that brings us to the end of our formal interview questions. Mom, thank you for doing this. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with your grandkids?
Everybody on this earth is born with the light of Christ that tells you what is right and what is wrong. I think when you make a decision, some aren't clear cut, but many things are clear cut. We're given the chance to choose on this earth. I'm so glad that we can choose. But sometimes we forget that we can't choose the consequences. So choosing is really important. I just want you all to choose carefully. Pray about your choices. And then follow the promptings that you get in your life. I want you all to know how much I love you. In the last conference, President Nelson says, to what and to whom would you give your life? To what and to whom would you give your life? I've been thinking a lot about that. I would give my life for my grandchildren. I love you. Merry Christmas 2024.
Thank you so much, Mom.
Love you both.
Love
Love
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.